Okay, hello and welcome back to my channel. So for today I have a lasagna that just came out of the oven, so it's going to be super hot, and a Mexican Coke to go with that. And then I also have this, it's called a chocolate sachet cake. The lady at the store said it was a Sacher cake, but my inner Great British Bake Off is telling me that it's pronounced sachet, so that's where I'm going with it. It's a white cake with white chocolate like drizzle, and then it's got, I think this is whipped frosting and white cake. And then this is just a regular lasagna. That's gonna be super hot. So I think I'll try and see if this is even edible. Oh yeah, it's steamy. For today's topic, I'm going to be talking about something called the Coral Castle, which is in Florida, if you guys don't know. So there was a guy named Ed Leedskalnen, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He was born in Latvia, and he moved to the United States in his 20s to escape a failed marriage, I guess you could call it. So the woman that he was in love with and who he was supposed to marry broke off the wedding the day before, and it left him like completely heartbroken. And everybody says that, well, there's speculation, nobody really knows why, but that she left because of another man. So he had his heart broken, moved to the United States and picked up a few jobs. He lived in Oregon, Texas, and I think he also lived in Canada for a little while. Kind of like a better picture of the layers. But anyway, Ed found out that he had tuberculosis and then moved to Florida because I guess warmer weather is supposed to help with it, or I don't really know what the science behind it is, but he moved to Florida to try to heal his tuberculosis or to live in less pain. Then he searched all over and finally landed in a place called Homestead. And there he started building his coral castle, which was really kind of like an homage to his lost love, Agnes, who, by the way, was 16 when they were supposed to be married. I'm gonna cut into this cake now because I've really been waiting for it. This bite has a lot of frosting. I feel like I didn't really get any raspberry with that. There's only one layer. To me, this just tastes like a regular white cake. You can like see the raspberry. It's kind of a bummer. I mean, it's still a good white cake, but not a whole lot of raspberry. And I did want a strawberry cake in the first place, so this was the closest thing I could get. Anyway, Ed was a 5 foot tall, 100-pound man, so he was very, very small. And he set out on this adventure to build this castle made out of really heavy rock. In order to show his undying love for his fiancée who left him. And the thing about this was that he didn't use, so it was like the 1920s when this happened, so he didn't have any like modern day technology, and he also only used like simple tools. Like simple hand tools. So sculpting the rocks was one thing, but then moving the rocks was another. And overall he moved around like 1,100 tons of rock all on his own. And the thing is that he only worked at night so that nobody could see him working because he didn't want to reveal his secrets. But when he was asked about it, he only said that he had found out the secrets of how the pyramids were built. So it kind of hinted at he had some ancient technology that nobody else knows about. And on top of that, Ed was like super into magnets, like kind of weirdly into magnets. he actually wrote a couple pamphlets on Earth's magnetic something. I mean, I haven't read it, so I don't know what it's about, but so people thought that he was able to like use, what is that called, reverse magnetism in order to move these stones, and a lot of people also claim that it was levitation. So he was able to levitate these heavy rocks and just like push them along. One of the super huge, I guess, tourist attractions at the castle is this door that seems to not levitate, but it doesn't look like it's attached to anything, so, but it can be moved with just like the touch of a hand or just like a push or a gust of wind. And so people were always amazed at like how he did that, because it's just rocks basically levitating between two rocks. And it weighs an insane amount. So part of the mystery was actually debunked about 50 years after the castle was built, because now it's a tourist attraction. But the big revolving door stopped moving, and they had to kind of go in and see what was wrong with it so that they could fix it so people could actually enter in. And when they took the door apart, it actually took 6 men and some really special crane for like super heavy stuff, and they found out that there was actually a metal rod screwed into the rock, like through the center, and it was attached to a truck bearing, so it was able to spin by metal. And it was kind of like, oh, well, that's not really that super cool, because now it's not like a levitating rock anymore. The huge mystery really is, how did he carry all of these rocks? Because they weighed thousands of tons, or 8,000 and some tons, and he had no way of moving it other than with his hands and hand tools. Some people say that his friend that he had down in Florida actually helped him, like with their truck. They rolled him up on these logs, and they were able to get the really heavy rocks into the back of his truck and then drive them. But really, most of the accounts, people don't even know how it happened, because again, he worked at night and in solitude. Some people think that it was actually some sort of alien technology that was used also on the pyramids and levitating like really heavy rocks, and it was able to basically create its own gravity around an object and then move the object without the force of the Earth's gravity. So that was kind of like alien conspiracy theorists are in kind of that realm. Because in a lot of, well, not in a lot of pictures, because there weren't a whole lot of pictures taken of the time that Ed was actually building this castle, but in all of the pictures on top of these little pyramids that he made out of tree logs and other natural items, there was this, it looked like a concrete block or like a block made out of metal that was on top of these pyramids and these pulley systems and everything. And every other piece of equipment has been found on site except for that block. So the alien conspiracy theorists believe that it's some kind of alien technology that they gave to Ed and then they took back so that people couldn't find it, but it was also what they used for the pyramids and all that. Anyway, other people say it just still remains a mystery because they have no idea how any of this could be possible solely with a 100-pound man carrying all of these really heavy rocks and carving everything and then lifting it up onto these other rocks and being able to place everything the way that he did. So I guess it's kind of up for debate what you think happened. But the Coral Castle is open for visitors or tourists, and you can actually go and see it in Florida and kind of look around and get the history and see the pamphlets that that Ed wrote and kind of learn a little bit more about him. And you also get to push the big heavy rock now that it doesn't get stuck anymore, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm pretty full. I have to say the cake was a little bit of a disappointment. I think that there just wasn't enough raspberry and it really just tasted like a regular white cake to me. And the lasagna was good. I'm not like a huge lasagna person. I was just craving it for some reason, but whatever, I ate like a third of it, so. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos every other Sunday, kind of, is what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I'm really full, so bye.